Hey everybody, thanks for coming back to the Couch Beers podcast. Clap. We're here. We're your hosts. We got the Zealous Zebra, Zach.
That is I, and we have the Timothy the Tabby Caddy.
Okay. So this is our second one.
Number 2, numero dos.
Did you get any feedback from people?
I got too much feedback. I got so many DMs. I can go through a couple right off the bat.
Yeah, hit me.
Well, so I'll just read you the conversation. It started with like, how do you do it? How do you do it? And I just said, hey, thanks for listening. Do what exactly? And they said, wake up to be so awesome every day. And then I said, well, it starts by going to bed with the right mindset and right frame of mind. And then they said, sorry, that question was intended for Tim. So
Who said that? Nobody said that.
nobody said that.
You
well,
made that up.
Are you sure?
No. I mean, it looks like you actually wrote that down. Was that like a written joke? Who's X?
X's, whoever you want it to be.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
I don't know. So how do you wake up every morning being so awesome, Tim?
Carefully. I don't know.
Carefully, I like that. I'll allow it.
I have a weighted blanket. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Oh, you got to get those gains in the sleep, huh?
It's a 25-pounder.
Jeez.
Yeah, big boy.
How heavy do those puppies go?
That's pretty much about as heavy as they get.
Okay.
I think most people have like 10. There's a formula you're supposed to use. That's like,
It's kind of like
has to do with your body weight or something. I think it's like 10% of your body weight, and I don't weigh 250 pounds.
wow. Why do you sleep with such a heavy? You want those gains though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of like
I flex my toes a little bit while I'm sleeping.
Oh. Like, I don't know how to describe, like outward or upward.
Upward.
Oh,
That's what I was thinking.
that's interesting.
I also got some feedback. Just a little bit.
Good or bad or?
Well, I asked my mom if she listened. She said she listened to parts of it. I'm like, you couldn't even listen to the whole thing? Come on. But she said that she was upset that we were making fun of mall walkers, which I don't even really remember that conversation, but
I don't think we made fun of them. I think we just said we are not them.
fair. Yeah, so
I don't
sorry,
know.
Mom.
Your mom's a mall walker?
I don't know how often she does it, but she's definitely done it before.
Well, good for her.
Actually, they had, I think it was like around Christmas time. It was like it was for like a food bank. So they had the whole first floor of the Mall of America where you like walk around and you could go like get prizes and stuff. But basically it was all for charity.
What did they have? Like, was it roped off to where people like, they're rounding the corner by JCPenney, and then someone's like got little Gatorade cups and.
No.
Okay.
It wasn't like it. It was like you go around to each corner and yet they have activities and stuff.
Oh.
It was
Walking
kind of fun.
activities.
Yeah,
Wait,
walking
you went?
activities. Yeah. I did. I think it was a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember. Maybe it was for Thanksgiving. My memory's terrible. But I know a couple people have started watching Mr. Robot, so you're welcome.
Yeah, I met with a buddy last night who said I finally started watching Mr. Robot, and he said he watched 4 episodes with his wife, and then she went to bed or something, and she said, don't watch any more without me. And he said, I promise I won't. And then he said he played like video games for like 20 minutes, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to keep watching. So he watched another 4 episodes. So,
Dang.
but yeah, he said he's really thrilled, and I told him, just stick with it.
Yeah.
It only gets better.
Yeah, I've been actually rewatching it with my girlfriend.
Oh.
She watched when we first started dating, she watched the first season in like 2 days.
Whoa.
But then she never finished it, so we started over and we're working our way through it.
You had that little break and
Yeah. Wait, what?
I'm just kidding.
I don't understand. I'm moving on.
Okay, move on.
I had a couple people ask about our like little cartoon picture.
And
one
Yes, I
person
do.
commented that they thought it was just Bitmojis that looked exactly like us. And
that probably would have been a cheaper way.
true. We paid somebody on Etsy, lady named Karen, to do it for us.
With a C.
No, it was with a K.
Oh, I don't know.
It was spelled the correct way. Karen. It's my mom's name, actually.
Karen.
Karine? Oh, man. But
Yeah,
yeah,
again, thank you for everyone who subscribed, who liked. Just tons and tons of DMs and letters coming in. We can't get through them all.
Yep.
Ugh. We'll try to get through them, but
couchbeerspodcast@gmail.com is full of emails.
We need to get a terabyte of cloud storage from Google One.
But we welcome it.
We welcome it. That's right. This new fame of ours is hard to manage, but we're doing it the best we can.
That's correct. So it was funny. We talked about swear words kind of at the end of the last podcast. And then that weekend, so a little insight, we film these on Thursdays. Actually, today's a Friday, but we film them on Thursdays. And then I edit it over the weekend. And we're going to plan to release it on Mondays. So after we recorded that one, a Netflix show came out, The History of Swear Words. Did you see it?
I saw the ad thing, and it's trending like number 1 or 2 in the nation. But
yeah, I was intrigued, and Nick Cage was on the cover, so I'm like, I'll watch it. I watched the first episode. It was about the F word, obviously, but it was pretty funny. And they went through and they pointed out like who do you think in the history of movies has sworn the most? They had the list of the top 5. I want
like
to see
any swear words or like that swear
I think
word?
it was any swear word. They didn't really specify.
I mean,
I have the list written down.
I'm thinking honestly, like Samuel L. Jackson has to be up there for the F-bomb.
Yeah, he was number 3.
Number 3.
Yep.
That's
the first name that came to my mind too.
As far as like overall swear words?
Yep. I think this one might surprise you. Number 2.
Comedy or?
He does a little bit of everything. Leonardo DiCaprio.
That does surprise me, honestly.
Yeah. So Samuel L. Jackson was 301. Leonardo
someone
DiCaprio.
Went and counted?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Leonardo DiCaprio was 361. There has to be some kind of database you can just like search for swear words.
Is it like
scripts?
Is it like the NFL statistics where it's like he threw for over 100 yards indoors when it was snowing out below 20 degrees?
Yeah, I don't know.
When his third wife was, it's like these statistics, it's like they are not relevant to anyone who has that exact thing. Like
those, I also have no idea how you could ever find that, because they'll find them like mid-broadcast.
Oh, I know.
I know it's not the announcers that are doing it. They're having someone in their ear telling them, but still.
Well, then on top of that, then you have the, like you've seen those commercials where the dude is like, he's a Panthers player. I don't know who he is, but he's like, oh, look at these, sign up for the NFL statistics or the data analytics. And it's like, look at me. I'm 4 yards from the end zone.
Oh, Christian McCaffrey.
I have 3 different defenders. Yeah. And then they like calculate like the percentage of getting in. And I was like, how do you get that percent, like a calculation like that?
Yeah. And it's
like, there's so many variables. Like you don't even know what direction you're going. Like all this stuff where I'm like, that's garbage to me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know how those numbers happen. I think that like for those commercials, they just make it up.
100%. I would. Yes.
You know what's funny? That commercial, do you know what it's a commercial for?
Isn't it for like a wireless internet thing?
Amazon Web Services. They host websites. It's like,
oh yeah, that's like 90% of their income or something, isn't it?
I don't know about that. I'm sure it's a significant. They're like one of the biggest web hosting companies.
I believe it.
I would bet it's not. I still think their like retail is probably more, but
I think I know it for a while there. I read that like of all the cloud servers and all that stuff, like Amazon had a ridiculous amount of market share, like more than you'd ever think.
Yeah, because if you're not in that business, you probably don't even know that Amazon does that.
Right. Exactly.
They just recently started doing commercials. I don't think I ever saw a commercial before.
Classic. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Number 1.
Well, let's go 5-1. How about
5-1?
Okay. Number 5, Al Pacino. 255. Number 4, Adam Sandler. 295. Then we had Samuel L. Jackson and Leonardo DiCaprio. Do you have any idea for who's number one?
Can you give me like what are other types of movies and like what are their era? What's their era?
2000s and pretty much strictly comedy.
Strictly comedy. Oh, that's got to be.
We need like sound effects. We need Jeopardy music.
Would the race give it away?
He's white. I don't think that helps.
It's not Adam Sandler?
No. Oh, he's more recent than Adam Sandler. He got his start more recently.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll give you.
Yeah, give me a hint.
I'll give you a movie that he's in. Superbad. That's basically
Jonah Hill?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Number one. 376.
That's interesting.
It's kind of crazy that he could rack up those numbers because he hasn't really been in movies that long. I guess
maybe that's a trend of the movie industry from like generation to generation, like 70s, 80s, now like 90s and 2000s. It's like now it's more acceptable. I don't know.
I think you should watch that episode on Netflix. That's the only one I've watched, but they kind of go over that where they like there was no swearing in movies for a long time.
I believe it. Yeah, well, and that's like a fascinating. It's like all about the. I don't know if you would say like the social
taboo
of all that, but when I was in Iceland, we turned on the radio in the vehicle, and it was like they were just swearing left and right. Like every song had every terrible thing in it, and like I was like, this is crazy. This is like it's foreign to us, pun intended. Because we don't hear that kind of stuff on the radio. I mean,
right? We
hear all the blanks.
Yeah,
like they don't even beep it or use different words anymore. They just like say, "You know what goes there." But
sometimes they use different words, like
true,
like CeeLo Green, "Forget You."
Yeah, but I mean, yeah,
it's so much more lame.
It is way lame. I know the origin of SHIT.
Really?
Well, at least I saw that on a History Channel, so I think there's a little more merit. I haven't seen the episode, but I think the History Channel has got some validity. It's an acronym.
Oh, you know what? They talked about that in that Netflix show.
Fornication under King of Control of the King. Is that not true?
Yeah, that's not true.
I knew it wasn't.
Yeah, it's like they you should watch it. It's funny.
Okay.
Well, yeah. And it's short. I think it's only like 20 minutes.
Classic.
So that kind of reminded me of like when I was a kid. They talked about how PG-13 movies, they're allowed one F word, right? And I remember, and I'd heard that before. And every time I hear that, I think of the same scene from the same movie. And I want to play it and get your reaction. It's Bruce Almighty. Do you know the scene?
No, you got to play it, but that's a good movie.
So I'll set it up. So if you've never seen the movie, you should watch it. It's pretty funny. But Jim Carrey is working for a local news station, and he's kind of been grinding, doing like the beat reporting and like lame stories about giant cookies and stuff. And he knows there's an anchor position in opening up, and he wants it. And he finds out live on air while he's like at Niagara Falls doing another lame story, that his arch nemesis, Evan, is getting the anchor job. So live on air, he starts to have a breakdown. So here's the scene.
Oh, look! It's the owner of the Maid of the Mist. Let's have a talk with him, shall we? Come on in here, Bill. No. Come on, let's have a talk.
Come on, what are you doing?
Bill, you've been running the Maid of the Mist for 23 years now. Tell me, why do you think I didn't get the anchor job?
Hey, man, I don't want any problems.
Is it my hair, Bill? Are my teeth not white enough? Or like the Great Falls is the bedrock of my life, eroding beneath me. Eroding.
Got your feet. Put them black. Put them black. I'm on it.
I'm Bruce Nolan for Eyewitness News. Back to you, fuckers.
So whenever I hear that they can only say one F word, and a lot of times it's like super prominent. That's what I always think of because he just is so aggressive and like he's live on TV.
I love Jim Carrey's got that. He goes to the next level with those certain things. Like look at I can just when I hearing that eroding.
Yeah, you can see his face.
I see Ace Ventura when he's like doing all those crazy things, and that's
he's such a like visual actor, visual comedian. Like his Joe Biden impression on SNL.
Oh, really? I didn't know he did one.
It's like so he did it during the campaign and like the debates and stuff, and it's so like visual. It's so funny, and then I guess like he's not doing it anymore. Oh, so when they like asked him to do it, they had already tried out like everyone in the cast to do the role, and they're like, "How about Jim Carrey?" But he knew he wasn't going to do it for like if he got elected. But
gotcha. Not
everybody liked it. I liked it.
I haven't seen it, so I can't have an opinion on that.
Yeah,
but
I love SNL.
I like impression. A good impression.
It's not even really that good of an impression. It's just funny.
It's funny because it's close. It hits like the main points. I can see where that looks like someone or does that. You know, I get that.
Yeah.
Someone today at work, someone said, they said, Zach, I think you could do a really good Billy Bob Thornton impression. And I said, I don't even know what accent he has, let alone like, I don't know how I would try to do a Billy Bob Thornton accent, whatever, impersonation. So I don't
think I would either.
It'd almost be like, I don't know. I don't know.
The only thing I really know Billy Bob Thornton in is Fargo, the TV show. You ever seen it?
Didn't you ever see Goliath on Amazon Prime? Very good show. So. Highly recommend.
I don't think so.
Oh, see it. He's like a washed up lawyer. He like rents a permanent room out of like a shady hotel, not shady, but like a kind of a dumpy motel, because the doors open out to the street. Motel in, I think, Florida. And so he's like a washed up lawyer, and he kind of represents these like these clients who are getting screwed by like the big guy kind of. So I don't know. You could say he's like David. Because the show's name is Goliath. Whatever. So
it's a play on words. Funny.
It's good. It's a good show. Billy Bob Thornton does a good job. It gets a little weird. Like when I say weird, like if you're thinking it's going to be like a normal lawyer show, blah, 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 it's not anything like that. And it almost, maybe it was written from a book. I didn't investigate enough to find out if it was, but it kind of takes like a turn as far as like it pierces the veil of is this real or is this a little too far? You know, like it's in the world of reality, but then it like a certain point in the story, it kind of like pierces that veil of like, okay, it's a little extreme, but it's still believable. We can still ride with it. You know, like it's, I don't know. I highly recommend it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, send me a message, subscribe, write me, write me a letter.
That's funny. So I told you that I was gonna play a movie clip focused on a cuss word.
Yes.
And you came up with one too.
I think I did. Well, I didn't really. I think
you didn't understand really what I was trying to.
I misinterpreted the swearing part. I just came up with a movie clip, but it wasn't so much a swear word as it was a point in all.
Let me play it.
Is that the one the 8-second one?
Yeah.
If you can name the movie, you can see it.
I can see it. Yeah. Okay. If you're wait.
I'll explain and I'll talk about it. Okay. It'll be fun.
Way to go, Dallas!
I don't get it. I've never seen the movie.
So, for those who are watching who have never seen it, get cultured and watch it. It's the best, probably one of the best movies.
You've actually told me this before. I think I put it on my list of movies to watch.
Didn't I say, quote, if you haven't seen The Hunt for Red October, you are uncultured swine? Didn't I say that?
Sounds about right.
I think I said that. So
I guess I'm uncultured swine.
Yeah, so watch it. It's so good. But, so that scene...
You've made me watch some dumb movies, though.
Okay. they were. I'll explain that later. They weren't dumb. They were.
Okay.
They were way better at the time that I watched them, and then when you watch them when you're 28, it's like, you know what? Did not hold its value.
Yeah,
It's one of those kind of things. Okay. But The Hunt for Red October. I don't want to give any spoilers for those who haven't seen it, but you should have. So I really shouldn't be spoiling because you already know. But it's reflecting on it, and it's really hilarious to me because that scene right there is super intense. And it's whatever 2002 graphics of these submarines underwater doing this stuff, and it's like kind of in slow motion, and it's like, oh my gosh, you're on the edge of your seat, but it's like, as you saw right there,
so slow.
it's like, and way to go, Dallas! Like, what happened? Like, it's hilarious if you really kind of sit back and look at what's happening and how they presented it, because it's like.
So it looked like in the clip, something got hit by another submarine or something.
No. So, without going super in depth, a Russian submarine is going after Red October, following it, fires a torpedo, and Red October is pretty much gonna blow up. Mm-hmm. But then the USS Dallas, which is another U.S. sub, comes in over the top of the other one. So if the microphone here is.
It's a visual podcast.
A visual podcast here. So this is I don't know, Red October here.
Okay. That's the submarine.
And so this is the torpedo coming from back. Dallas comes over here and takes the heat-seeking or whatever missile or torpedo, and then they deploy like whatever their flares thing, and then they breach. And that's where, if you watch the whole clip, it's like 1:30. There's a different clip, but then like I don't know. There's too much going on to explain the whole thing, and that's kind of a spoiler alert. But fantastic movie, excellent awesomeness. Alec Baldwin did a great job. It's young Alec Baldwin, where he's got black hair.
Oh, interesting.
And he's not like, he doesn't have a lot going on in his neck area. But yeah, no, great movie, fantastic movie. One of my probably top 8.
I recently wrote down my list of top 10 movies. Maybe we should go over that for podcast.
Tell me about that. I don't have my top 10 with me.
Well, I think we should prepare one, and we can have a movie debate.
A debate, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, is it a debate that can be won, or is it a matter of
opinion? Yeah, there's winners and losers for sure.
Very good. All right.
And I think I know who's going to be the loser. It's not me.
Yours truly. Wait, that's me, isn't it?
Yeah, it is you. I'm glad we agree.
Well, go for it. What's number going from 10 to up to number 1?
I'm not doing it now. We gotta save it. We gotta both have a list.
Okay, very good. I agree.
Okay.
10? That's a lot of movies.
Yeah, I know.
Are there categories, or is it just overall?
It's overall. It's hard for me to pick, like, my favorite movie. Well, I guess it'd probably be easier to pick my favorite movie in a category. I don't know. We can discuss it.
How would that be harder?
We can discuss it offline.
Okay. Well,
it's coming. So get excited.
All right.
You know how I love math?
No.
I like math because it's like of all the subjects in school, there's a right answer every time. You know? We're like history, subjective. It's not like...
Hold on. Isn't history like there is an answer?
Yeah, but it's like multiple choice history questions do not interest me because I don't have to use my brain besides just memorizing things.
Okay.
Same with biology. I hated biology.
I think history is interesting. It's fun. It's cool and all that stuff. But yeah, multiple choice history exam where it's like they give you 4 years, 1 year apart. It's like, come on, guys. I'm not... Like, when was this, the Treaty of Versailles signed? After World War II. I don't know. Like,
in what year was the War of 1812?
Okay, that's a freebie.
But that's why I like math. Math is cool that way.
You like accounting then?
Yeah, but I don't really like money.
You don't. It's not money, man. It's numbers on a screen.
That's true.
But when the numbers are.
But so I brought this up for a reason, right?
Okay.
So I recently found out this cool math fact. Did you know
Can I tell you my? Well, you tell me yours because
Okay.
I have a math fact that is very helpful in accounting.
Okay. Did you know 10 plus 10 and 11 plus 11 are the same thing?
Wrong.
They are.
How?
10 plus 10 is
20,
11 plus 11 is
22,
exactly.
20 as well. So dumb. I hate that. Yo, dumb. Well,
So that was all just a lead up for a stupid joke.
Oh well.
I do love math though, and I do not like history and biology.
Well, I'll give you here's a fun little thing for your little math nerd thing.
Mm-hmm.
It only really helps you in accounting if you think about it in practical terms.
Okay,
But maybe-
actually, so we were talking about feedback, right?
yes.
I did get. So my girlfriend's an accountant,
Mm.
and she shared the podcast with a bunch of her accounting friends, and they all loved your bean counting metaphor.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
big hit with the accountants.
Wow. Well,
Sorry,
Yes.
I had to interrupt and
I appreciate that. Well, DM me, send us Gmail. We'll try to get through it as we blow through all the inbox. But
add you on LinkedIn.
add me on LinkedIn, please do. I think that's a great thing. But that fun math thing.
Yep.
Okay, so when you transpose numbers, it's divisible by 9.
When you transpose numbers.
So take 1.72.
Yeah.
And then 1.27. The difference is divisible by 9. It's a factor of 9.
So 227 times 9 is 72? No.
So 72 minus 27. Whatever that variance is divisible by 9. And if it is, that means someone transposed something. That's how you can find errors really easily in accounting. When
Okay,
you're like,
and
why does my trial balance not balance? Or my balance sheet not balance?
for the people that are listening that might not know what you mean by transpose, what do you mean?
Transpose, it's like dyslexia. So it's like 1.72 is the real answer, but you're blowing through on your 10 key as fast as you can. 1.27 is what you put in, and then your total does not add up to a different total, and you're scratching your ass like, what the hell? What the hell's going on here? And then when you take your difference and you divide it by 9, that's where you're like, I transpose something.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, honestly,
I don't think that applies to anything I've ever done in my entire life.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a very an accounting thing, but it's one of those things where it works every single time.
Well, hopefully that helped the 3 accountants that are listening. I don't actually know how
3.
many.
There's
I don't
only
actually
2.
know how
She only
many.
shared it with 2.
Don't remember.
Don't know. Don't care.
I got the memory of a goldfish. It's true.
Speaking of LinkedIn, I got a story.
Checking the notes, huh?
Well, there's so many things that I could talk about on LinkedIn.
So
that
you
drive me-
might be the most active person on LinkedIn. that I know of.
I mean, I'm so active. I don't have the premium, which you pay for. It's like $30 a month. I do not.
Yeah,
do
but
that.
they email me like once a week saying that I have a free trial.
Who does? I do.
No, LinkedIn
Oh.
does. So just don't have it for like a week, and then they'll email you and give you a free trial.
I mean, I did the free trial, and that's.
Now they're trying to rope you in.
I mean, they're setting the hook and reeling you in. Yeah. No. So I follow a bunch of like, it's really management kind of styles and like mindsets and like how to like figure out problems and everything like that, which I find you love math. I like that kind of like thinking and processing information and trying to get to like what works best and all that good stuff.
Sure.
But there is one, I don't know, then there's some people that follow me that pop up on my feed, which I don't agree with, but like when I say that,
like you wish
like-
they wouldn't pop up if they just follow
correct.
you. Yeah.
Well, yeah, so they follow me. It's this person who's trying to sell me like a new software, and it's like, no, our
Yeah.
software is kicking butt as it is right now. Like, we are fine. We're good.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even want to undertake something like that at this moment. Like, if we're running fine, like, why would you want to talk about? It doesn't matter. But these people then they like follow me, and then they like something like a sales. It's like a sales thing. It's always a sales thing.
Yeah.
Which half the people who reach out on LinkedIn are trying to sell you something. I can tell you another story on that, but
hot LinkedIn takes.
Oh, it'll be a moment or a thing on the cast here.
Yeah.
But this, so this, whatever. I saw this blah, 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 so-and-so liked this post. And I read the post and it was like this guy, you can probably find it on my posts on my LinkedIn. Please follow me.
Is it like a friend? I use LinkedIn very rarely. Is it a friend request? Not a friend request, but it's like a connection. Yeah. So you have to
want to link up.
You have to like agree to connect with this person, right?
Kind of. I mean, I think you can follow someone.
Yeah,
but that's like
I know I've done that. Like I think I follow Bill Gates.
So I go all in whenever I'm like, if I'm trying to like figure out someone and I go to their profile, it alerts you when someone sees your profile. Yeah. So it's which is really weird. Don't try to be sneaky about it. Just go for it, and then request them right away. So then it's like, okay.
I think it only alerts. Well, I think if you pay for it, it does not alert them, right?
Correct. It tells you like their profession, so and so at this company with the title of this. Yeah. And it's like if the company's like 2 people, it's like, I wonder who it was. But no, so the story is this guy follows me who had trying to sell me something, and he followed me, whatever. He liked this post. The post said it was about customer service and sales and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, let's see what this is all about. And usually these kind of posts are like these obnoxious situations where it's like, well, duh. And one, who the heck even, like this isn't a real situation. It's made up. It's a post. Mm-hmm. This one I felt was real. And it was the poster's like direct real thing. Right. So I was like, okay, let's read this thing. So as it read, and this is my memory, but please find it and you'll see my large comment. I commented on it, and I do not unless you got strong feelings. I had very strong feelings. So the post was, I rent this Airbnb in California. Okay. And I walk into the Airbnb and the AC is broken. Oh, that sucks. Like, I agree. Like, California, it's warm. It's, AC is broken. Yeah. And so he's like, so I was going to like see how their customer service was at this Airbnb. And I'm like, makes sense. Like, let's see how you were treated. And then he says he informed the Airbnb person immediately saying, hey, the AC is broken. And then this is where it took a huge turn where I was like, I disagree with how you handled this whole situation as a consumer even. Then he like says to the Airbnb host, what if like the AC is broken? That's okay. You're informing them of something that's not up to your standards. Mm-hmm. But then it took a turn where he's like, what if I can't sleep? I don't sleep well because of the AC. How will, pretty much saying like, my stay will not be that great. What are you going to do about it? Kind of. Yeah. Like he's trying to get some kickback or something. So yeah. And so like, and he phrased it, this post was all about like, oh, look what they did for me because like what my situation was. And I said, no. Like he thinks the way that he responded to them was like beneficial. He said he was applauding them for customer service. Okay. And that's where the situation as it read, and I'm going from memory, but I was so peeved at this, where I wrote a longer post than I think his thing was. Because I just said, I disagree with this. I said, you're not talking about customer service. You are putting this host in a corner and you're not giving them an option. Yeah. And first off, I hate that he said, what if? It's a hypothetical. Yeah. You don't know if you're going to sleep poorly. So you say the AC's broken, which is okay because it is. And you just say, hey, AC's broken. Is there anything you can do? Like whatever. And if they say, oh, I didn't know the AC was broken. I'm sorry. I'll refund your money. Or, then it gives them an opportunity to show their customer service. Right. But what he did is he said, what if I have a bad stay? And then the person's like, well, okay, like, let me see, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, diffuses the situation. And then just the way that's phrased and the way, like I said, you put that person in a corner and they have no option to say, like, if they say, no, I'm not refunding your money. well, then you're going to blast them on social media and all
Right.
that. And like, they'll get 1 star and it'll be a atrocious stay and all that stuff. It harms them more so like what I'm saying is instead of giving them an option to do the right thing
Mhm.
or presenting a situation to do the right thing, you put them in a corner so they can only do the right thing,
Yeah.
which I don't agree with.
Is that what you said in your post?
Yeah, the thing about LinkedIn is it's like I'm so professional.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, hey, you know what? I disagree on how you handle the situation. Like that person, anyone would do the same thing because you put them in a corner.
Yeah.
Like by you blasting them saying it was a terrible stay hurts them way more than, and I'm sorry, if you can't sleep because of AC, get a hotel then.
Yeah.
Get your money back and just don't even stay there. But it's like
kind of an impossible question to answer.
Right? Yes. What kind of answer do you expect in that kind of situation? That's what set me off so hard. And people were applauding him for customers like, oh,
Yeah.
wow, you handled that so great and all this. And I'm like, you're missing the whole point. Like, I'm putting myself in the shoes of the host, and it's like, that's not okay. Like,
Yeah.
I would push back and say, like, you're giving me a hypothetical. Like, are you assuming you won't sleep? Maybe you should get a hotel.
Yeah.
At this point, like, I can't do anything. The air conditioner's broken. It's not like they were trying to sell the dang room with a broken air conditioner. If they were, I mean, that's a reflection on them, but I don't think that's a strategy that I don't know. So anyway, just had to, that's a story on LinkedIn and things that I like to read. And that's like equivalent.
I think I actually saw that post when you commented on it.
If you could find it, that'd be great. I can't find it, but it's,
that reminds me, so I'm an Eagle Scout, right? Good for me.
what is it like this?
Honestly, I don't even remember.
Three fingers.
I think it is 3 fingers doing the salute.
Okay.
We so like you have to like go through all this stuff to get your Eagle Scout award, right?
Yeah. Don't you have like yep.
You have to have a Eagle Scout project to fix something in your community or do something for your community. You have to get all these different merit badges, right? Like citizenship in the world, first aid.
What does that mean? Do you have to like go to a different country? What does that mean?
No, it's just like a history lesson, basically.
You hate history.
I know. Well, those were not my favorite merit badges to get, but where was I going? Oh, so at the very end, you have to sit in front of a board, and they like drill you about your project. They like all these other stuff, right? And then they like ask you all kinds of questions. It's like an hour-long interview, basically.
Oh.
And I had one guy, so you have to finish everything before your 18th birthday. And I think it was like a month. I mean, maybe it was like a week before my 18th birthday that I had this meeting, which is like the very final step. And he asked me, what would you have done if we didn't pass you? Like this was part of the interview. And I was like,
what would you,
like, how would you have proceeded? Because they can fail you in your interview and you won't get the Eagle Scout award, right? And I was like, I don't think I had a good answer. I don't even remember what I said, but it's like, that's the same kind of thing. It's like an impossible question to answer. Well, it didn't upset me that he asked me that. I'm like, that's a good ass question. I don't know.
Well, is it a good question though? Like,
I think, well, the point of the question obviously is to be like, you need to do a better job in the future, like in work and in school, to not like procrastinate to the end.
Well, right. And like, so you can look at it that way. And like, there's so many different ways to view that, different lenses to put on. I mean, if you were doing that in an interview and then they said, if we fail you, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, I'm sorry, my life does not hinge on this moment to become an Eagle Scout.
Right.
And if it does, I think you've got issues, man. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I know tons of people who are not Eagle Scouts and who are, and it's like, congrats. Yeah. Like, that's great. Did your world collapse around you when they said no? Like, yeah, that's a loaded gun, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what if we fail you? My life continues. I don't know what answer you're looking for here, bro. Like, That's what I'd say.
Yeah, I think I just came up with something about trying to reschedule the interview really quickly
I
or
would
something.
make a fake birth certificate and
Yeah.
go back in time.
Yeah. But I ended up passing, so go me.
Straight on. Right on.
Um,
What else you got on that ledger there?
So
Otherwise, I got a fun story for tonight or right now that happened
Hit
to
me.
me on my way here. So, for those of you who are new listeners, don't know a lot about me, I drive a 2016 Police Interceptor,
Ford Explorer.
Ford Explorer. So it's an SUV. It's got the cool spotlight on it. So
Does it work?
it doesn't. I know a buddy said he was going to fix that. And I was like, I really, when in my time driving would I ever use the spotlight, or and it would
When
only
would
be
you
if
not
I
use it.
well, it's only when I arrive at his house, then I
Yeah.
like flip it on and be like, hey, is your garage open? Or whatever.
Well, you know I'm an electrical engineer, right? I could probably take a look at it.
I think you should.
I'm guessing they just unplugged it.
I want you to take a peek at it. I don't have any interest, so that's why I don't really care. But if you want to take the time,
Why not?
go for it, brother. But so anyway, so fun things to know about if you're considering buying a Police Interceptor. People will ride on your butt, and then they'll like zig out to pass you, and then as soon as they see that black spotlight, they cut the cruise and they like slow down, and it's like okay. Or when I'm like hauling, I arrive on their buttocks, and they slow down even further because it's like they see a cop car in their rear view, and I'm like, there's no light bar, you can't,
Yeah.
but the grill's like black where it is, and then it's it definitely looks like a cop car wherever you look. But anyway,
Do you enjoy that?
I do. So I mean, obviously, I get very peeved when people the speed limit's 70 miles an hour, and people are cutting the cruise to like 70 or 64, and I'm going 76. Like, I got places to be, and you're in the fast lane. What's going on? And then I'm like, I'm driving a cop car. People are weird. Like, there was one time I was driving down to Rochester to visit a buddy, and I was going 74. I think the speed limit's like 65, but I was going 74.
9, you're
and-
fine. 10, you're mine. That's my rule.
There you go. So yeah, I was fine.
There you go.
And so this gal actually screaming by in the fast lane, and literally, I mean, she had to have been going 10, 15 miles over like what I was going. She was screaming. She came up in my rear view, and I was like, whatever. She gets neck and neck with me, and then I see her brake. Like, the front of her vehicle drops, and she brakes when she gets next to me. And I'm like, if I actually am a cop, you are getting busted. Like, I saw how fast you were moving, and then I see your brake, and your front end drops. I'm like, come on, you're busted. But then they cut the cruise way back, and they started falling back. And then this was still in pretty much summer this year, in I think October. I rolled down my window and I waved them on, and they probably see like this like gray sweater that I was wearing, and it's like, that guy's not a cop. And then, I mean, I have this Fighting Sioux logo on the back of my.
Yeah, why would they think it's like huge?
Well,
it takes up your whole window.
When you're going that fast, I guess you can't see that stuff. Like I said, people see that light, and they just are like, cop.
Yeah, funny.
But so anyway, back to my story for today. So I was like, oh, when I said I had to go run an errand, I was going to go to the Barnes & Noble in Burnsville, which is just off 35E.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but then I was going down whatever this road, and then I was like, oh, there's a Barnes & Noble right where Tim's place is. So I said, I'm not doing that. So then next light, I'm turning left. I'm going to whip a Yui. And so it was my turn to go, and then another car was turning onto that road, and then I just like whipped the Yui, and I just accelerated, put it to the floor. And of course they you see them brake, and they think the cops got them,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, nope, and I just blow by them. I mean, it's a really fun vehicle to drive, because then you can, I mean, as if you need an excuse, but it's fun. It's funner when people think you're a police.
Yeah.
Like, because whenever I pass someone, it's like, okay, and I just punch it, and I go as hard as I can, which is probably not the greatest thing, but I go like I get up to like 80, 90 miles an hour to pass someone who's, and I don't need to, but it's just fun because I don't know, people. It's funny to see people's reactions. It's like if you're not breaking any rules, no matter.
I realized that we've never in this episode talked about the beers we're drinking. That's the whole point of couch beers that's like our thing.
What are you drinking there, Tim?
I got a New Belgium. It's called Accumulation. It's apparently snow accumulation because there's like a little trailer home covered in snow. White India Pale Ale. It's pretty good. It's not like it's not super hoppy like some IPAs. I like it. I'd have this again.
Was it gifted to you or did you purchase it?
Oh no, this was part of the mystery 6-pack I got.
Oh, from 6 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Oh, well,
2.5 weeks ago.
It feels like about a year.
Yeah,
since I saw you last. I mean, I was kind of like, "Where are your kids, Tim?"
Well, you texted me last week asking if we were going to do it.
I just wanted to confirm because I was like, I know we're not doing it, but I don't know if Tim's like, okay, I got the beer set. I got this microphone set.
You were worried about me.
I was concerned that you were going to get let down. And I don't
That's
like,
very kind
I mean, you talk about dreams, you know what kind of dreams I have? You know, people are like, I was falling from the sky.
Yeah.
I fell down a thing of stairs and I woke up and I was like, oh my God. My kind of dreams are arriving late to an interview or to work. And it's like, I'm not like anxious, but I wake up and I'm like, oh, did I forget to show up for something? And like, I mean, I show up to work at like 7:20 and I'm scheduled at 8. It's like, I'm kind of psycho in that regard too, but
I have dreams all the time still that I'm like going to school and I forget my backpack, or like I'm running late to class and I can't get there for some reason. And I haven't been in school for 5 years.
I know. I don't know. Someone told me that's like a work related
Could be
thing. And I mean, while it may be true, I mean, I'm certain it is true, but I've never been late for work. Like, I mean, when I say never been late, I mean, maybe I arrived late because I had a dentist appointment and I scheduled it as early as possible so I didn't miss work. I mean, I'm psycho like that. Oh,
what are you drinking?
I am drinking the Alpha King by Three Floyds. It's a pale ale, similar to that of a Summit. It kicks you in the teeth. It's kind of like when you're dazed, like after being like a boxer has punched you or something, you're like dazed. It's like someone taking like a baseball bat and then just being like, they don't hit you upside the head. Like they don't swing it. They like jab it in your teeth, and then your teeth are all broken. That's what this is.
You know,
the Alpha King. Yeah, it's a cool can.
That is a cool can. Looking at that can, it made me think of a story. So it's a 16-ounce can, a tall boy, right?
Pounder, if you will.
A pounder. I've only golfed 2 times in my entire life. The first time was in high school.
Mini golf.
No, I've mini golfed a few times.
Oh, okay.
The first time was in high school. We played a 9-hole course in Bloomington, and we got kicked off because it was getting too dark out after like 7 holes. It was so dumb. But then I played again last summer, and we went in the pouring rain, and everybody that I went with, there was like 7 of us, actually golfs, but we played like just for fun. We did like 3 against 4, just played like best ball. So like everybody hits it, and then you just hit from whoever has the best shot.
Yep, you hit the best shot.
Pouring rain, and we played 18 holes, and we brought a cooler full of beer, and like halfway through, I'm like, I can't believe they let you bring your own beer. And one of the guys that I was with, they're like, oh no, they don't. And then the guy that was like the one guy in his cart by himself, he's like, why do I have the cart full of beer then? But we had pounders in there, tall boys, right?
Oh yeah.
And these 2 old guys come rolling up on us because we were 7 people playing at the same time, so we were going pretty slow. And they're like, one of the guys is like, hey, you guys want a couple beers? They're like, no, we're waiting for the drink cart to come by. And they like take their shots off the tee. And then they're like, one of the other guys is like, you sure you don't want a beer? I don't think the drink cart's coming because it's just pouring rain.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, fine, whatever. And they hand him one, and the guy grabs the tall boy. He goes, ooh, silos. And I think of that whenever I see the tall cans.
That's what they call them,
He called them silos.
That must be an old timer term.
Must be. It's pretty funny, though.
Yeah. What else do you got?
Oh, yeah, I got a whole bunch on my list here.
Yeah,
So
hit me.
my girlfriend the other day asked me, I was joking about I should quit my job and just sit at home and do nothing.
She said that or you said that?
I said that. And she said, what would you do all day? You would get so bored. I'm like, no, I wouldn't. I'd find stuff to do. She's like, even though you don't have any money? I'm like, yeah, why not? And then on my YouTube recommendations, this Swedish guy came up. His name's Eric Gronkvist. And he, over the last year and a half, has been building a log cabin in the woods in Sweden with hand tools. So he has been cutting down trees, shaving the bark off of them, cutting them to length, and he built this ramp out of logs to because the cabin's getting so high he can't lift the logs anymore. So he has to work it up the ramp by himself with some ropes and a pulley system. It's pretty awesome.
So you do that here?
Well, not here, but I'm like, that's what I would do.
I'd
So
watch that YouTube video.
I sent her the video. I was like, this is what I would do. I would just go live in the woods and build a log cabin by myself.
And she's like, okay.
I think the coolest thing about those videos is that he definitely speaks English because he puts little subtitles in every once in a while. But I bet he's not super confident in his English abilities. So there was one video, it was 2 hours long. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, okay.
I watched at least half. He doesn't put music over it or anything. So it's this super long video of these 45 to 2 minute clips of him working on something. And so it's just these sounds of the woods, him scraping the log. It's just super relaxing. It's just kind of fun to watch.
You know what that reminds me of? I remember I had to have been 9 or 10 years old. I had to have been really. I mean, the only reason I remember it is because there's one clip. So it was a PBS story movie thing. I think it was One Man's Wilderness, I think is what it was called. This old timer. He had to have been in his 50s or 60s. He built a cabin in the Canadian Yukon.
Mm-hmm.
And out of everything, he made wooden bowls and all this stuff. And he's mud for the cabin thing. And then he's oh, I got the fire going and the cabin's a comfortable 42 degrees. And I'm 42 degrees is inside?
That's crazy.
That's nuts. And it was it's a documentary. So what you described there is this dude in the this took place in the 60s or 70s.
Mm-hmm.
So it's this dude was the ultimate survivor man. Actually set up his camera and was
yeah. I was trying to figure out this kid because he's I think he said at the very beginning of his video that he was 18 when he started it.
how old's he now?
Well, probably he's not done with the cabin yet. He's getting ready to put the roof on right now. So he must be 21.
30.
But
this is a pastime. He doesn't do this for life.
well, I don't think he has a job. I think he's just doing it. I was trying to figure it out because there's in his videos there's a tent, a big tent in the background. I can't tell if he lives there because it's in the middle of nowhere in the woods. He's got a tractor that he was using to drag some logs, but yeah,
That's
I
where
can't
the camera crew lives.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So there's definitely been other people there because he had some shots of a drone flying over while he was working. So it was definitely not him flying it. But I couldn't tell.
Wait, he was just filming the sky, like, oh, there's a drone.
No. There was like a shot of
A
the
drone shot
Yeah.
of him. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, he's the subject of the shot.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was cool though. He's like, and so Alyssa watched part of one of his videos with me. Actually, we might have watched the whole thing. It was like 20 minutes long, and she goes, "Well, now this sucks because, like, I have to wait to see how it ends. Like, the video is over, and he's like not even close to done with it yet." She's like, "What the hell? Now I have to wait?"
It's probably like, isn't there like I know the trend was like satisfaction videos where like people were like, whatever, power washing stuff or like
Yeah.
doing certain things, and it's like everyone's like, I just need to watch it till the end. And I remember there was some, I don't know, it's like they try to get you to keep clicking or watching, you know.
Yeah.
And I always say no before I get roped in.
There's a dude I follow on Instagram. His name's Erasing Hate. That's his like Instagram page. He just like works for a company that's his job's power washing stuff.
Nice.
So like after work, he'll go drive around Montreal, and apparently like people in Montreal love spray painting swastikas on stuff. So he'll just power wash swastikas off of stuff. And he's just like this goofy dude. He wears a bulletproof vest that says like Erasing Hate across the front, and he's like, "Hey, what's up? This is Derek." I don't even remember his name. "I'm out here and we're gonna erase some hate." And he like flips on the power washer, and he's just like spraying down the wall. And then when he's done, he always chucks the power washer.
That's awesome.
It's pretty funny.
That's sick.
Yeah. So if you got fired from your job, didn't have any money, and knew that you were not gonna get a new job anytime soon, what would you do to pass the time? You can't say build a cabin in the woods, because that was mine.
Okay. Mine? Probably train for like a Tour de France or something.
Triathlon. That'd be sweet.
I don't know. I mean, it's a weird question, right? Like, if I have no money, it's like, well, I can't really like do anything,
Right.
unless you have like, oh, I'll just drain my savings.
Assume you have money like for food and stuff, but you have minimal money to spend on other things. Like you could buy, like I gave it to you. You could buy a bike if you wanted to train for.
I do have a bike.
Well, you could buy it.
Got the Bianchi Rocket.
It's like 1978 Bianchi.
I know, but that's like, they don't make them like they used to. No, I don't know. I'd probably do something like that. Or
I knew you were gonna say something like working out of some kind.
I mean, I just need to be active because when your body moves, your brain grooves.
I like that.
It's a fact. It's scientifically proven.
Scientifically,
man.
But you can't do that all day. I guess you can if you're in the Tour de France, right? Don't they bike for like 12 hours?
I mean, there's no way I'd even be remotely close because you saw that documentary.
Which one?
The Icarus.
Icarus, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, flying too close to the sun, all those guys dope.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's true.
Like it was that documentary where the guy that from the USA team didn't dope and they kicked him off the team because he didn't dope.
Really?
Was it
I don't remember that from the... I mean, I watched it like a few years ago.
It may have been a different documentary, but it was like, yeah, like that's how... I think it was that documentary. Because it was cycling exclusively, and they were like, yeah, this one new USA guy got... Like, they kicked one guy off for doping, and they replaced him with a guy who didn't dope, and he wouldn't dope. And the rest of the team did, and they're like, if you don't do this, you're off the team. And he said, no, I won't. And they booted him.
That guy actually just released a new documentary.
What's it called?
Don't remember.
Oh.
But it's not on Netflix. Like, you have to, like, pay-per-view or whatever. I haven't watched it, but that documentary is so good, I'm like, maybe I will pay for it.
Yeah,
Icarus, if you've never seen it, for people that are listening, he's like this guy that he wanted to dope himself up and see if like he could compete in cycling, and along the way he finds out that there's like this Russian guy that has been like giving steroids and stuff to Russian Olympic athletes in basically every sport.
Yeah, like he not to steal your thunder.
No, go ahead.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, no, he I remember, I mean, just because it was interesting. Yeah, he was a cyclist, and he's like, oh, I tried this one race in France that it wasn't Tour de France.
Yeah.
But he tried this one race and he just got owned, and he's like, I wonder like how much, like he's just interested, like if I doped, what would my performance be? And he started training and started kind of like doping and all that, and then he discovered that Russian scientist, and that guy was like filters off everything, like, oh yeah, here's a doping program, like, yeah, this is what I give all
he's
the
like,
Russian
this is how
athletes.
you don't get caught.
Yeah,
he basically had it.
And it was a schedule. I mean, it was a 7-day a week, like, this is when you do it, what you do, how to recover, all. It was like a scientific program, and yeah, it was really disgusting to see. I mean, very cool documentary, but really amazing to see that, like, that documentary puts a huge shadow over all Olympic sports to me.
Yeah.
Like
global athletes of any kind. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and then to me, when I just think about all these phenomenal athletes out there, and then I'm like, now I question everything, like, look how ripped AP was, or, like, yeah, Tyreek Hill, like, these guys are like super jacked.
Adrian Peterson looks kind of small now.
Yeah,
have you seen him recently?
Oh, I saw him. Well, he played for the Lions this year, and yeah, I thought he looked kind of pathetic. I mean, what is he, 32? Damn near in a geriatric center.
Yeah, that's super old for a running back. Especially,
how old was Marshall Faulk when he retired?
He was probably about that age.
Yeah, I mean, and his knees, he couldn't even run anymore. He's like, had the tennis ball stroller running into the end zone. Touchdown. So also, can I say something real quick? As if people who personally know me know, I hate Chris Collinsworth with a passion. Like, there's dislike, there's no acknowledgement, there's hatred. There's nothing Chris Collinsworth will do or say that'll make me like him.
Can you explain who Chris Collinsworth is?
Chris Collinsworth, I don't know. I think he played as a quarterback in like the 80s.
I'm not sure either.
And I think he's one of those guys that I think has a voice that he has no insight on anything. Like,
he announces football games. That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, sorry. He announces football games, and he traditionally with Joe Buck, which equally as bad. I mean, Joe Buck he doesn't even know what to say. Like, he's like, Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback ever. It's like Drew Brees and Tom Brady, like the Buccaneers and the Saints are playing right now. We don't want to hear about Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. Why are you talking about him? And all this blah blah blah, all that crap. But so the best announcer, and I won't say I'd fight someone over this because I don't think it's worth fighting over. Use your words. Tony Romo, I think is absolutely fantastic, because he calls it as it is. So when there's a flag on the play and they do a replay, Tony Romo's like, yeah, that's a trash call. He'll straight up say it.
Yeah.
Whereas every other announcer will say, I don't know about that. And they won't disagree and they won't agree. But Tony Romo will say, yeah, that's a bad call, straight up.
Yeah.
He's like, I could go either way. And he's so loosey-goosey about it. That's what I love about it. And then Jim Nantz really compliments him so beautifully, because Jim Nantz is like, what do you think, Tony? Like, the last game that they announced, I think it was it the Browns and Steelers, or I don't know where.
I don't remember either. I watched it.
But no, I mean, Jim Nantz and Tony Romo were just like going back and forth, laughing at it. I mean, they were having a great time. And the thing...
I think it was the Browns and Steelers. Not that it matters.
Well, whatever. Right? It doesn't matter.
No.
But the thing I love about Tony Romo, and I love it because he's so insightful as a quarterback, Yeah. And I hope it doesn't ever wear off, but they're setting up and he's like, oh, here comes the blitz.
Yeah. And
they blitz. Like, he can see things before they happen. It's like, I don't think that's a time delay. I think that's Tony Romo being Tony Romo, saying, I've been in the league for however long. I have the experience. I think he's so insightful, and he's like, I don't know.
It's funny. I really like Tony Romo too. he gets genuinely excited.
Yeah.
You can tell he just genuinely loves football. And it's so kind of refreshing.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers just retired too. And JJ Watt, I think he posted on Twitter or something saying he'll never forget there was a game that he was facing Phillip Rivers and JJ Watt plays defense. So he's like lined up on defense and Phillip Rivers calls out one of the linebackers. He goes, "Hey, you're lined up like in the wrong spot for this blitz you're about to run." And JJ Watt was like, he was 100% right.
That's awesome. I mean, I didn't see a ton of Phillip Rivers play, but when I did like see highlights and everything, it always seemed like he was pouting.
Yeah.
Or like that's the one thing I love about any sports is someone who's enthusiastic and loves the game, has a smile on, even like when the Browns were doing well, that's Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm.
Having fun. Like that's what it's all about, I think. And I think those types of organizations, if you can create a culture that really is like a fun environment, success will follow. Yeah. But it's like, look at the Yankees. I mean, you can buy your team, but are they having fun? I bet some of them are, but are they? I don't know. I think what was it, 3 or 4 years ago? I don't even know, when the Vikings almost went to the Super Bowl with Brett Favre.
Yeah.
I mean...
with Brett Favre? That was in 2009.
Was that really that long ago?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I guess
that was 11 years ago.
No way. Really?
Actually,
no, that wasn't that long ago. I wasn't in high school, was I?
I don't know.
I thought it was like 2013.
It was 2009 for sure.
Okay, well.
Because 2010 was the season where Brett Favre got in trouble for sending a dick pic.
So it had to have been like 2 seasons after that, right?
No, it was a season before that. Because that 2010 was his last year. It for sure. I don't remember if it was the 2008 season and the 2009 playoffs.
Wait, who was our quarterback after Brett Favre? For 3 years.
Christian Ponder. They had like Donovan McNabb for like 4 games and then Christian Ponder.
For 3 years?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. I don't really follow it that closely. But that year, Brett Favre was having fun.
Yeah.
They were pants on the ground, all that stuff. I mean, everything, that whole thing. I said, the reason because Brett Favre, they're having fun. Brett Favre was smiling, like, but when they pout, it's like you see with Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, like they pout when things don't go their way. And I think that has huge impacts that people can't. These NFL statisticians can't quantify. Like that kind of morale or culture, I guess. I don't know.
Have you ever seen Tom Brady post these videos on Twitter and probably Instagram after every win?
No, I've seen the ones on Fans Only. What's it called?
Only Fans.
Sometimes I Venmo him like $10 and say, "Hey."
he like posts these videos where he's just like smiling the whole time. He's like, "Hey guys, really great team win. Can't wait to get back at it next weekend." And then like some rap song starts playing and there's like highlights from the game that they just won. And it like his face is so creepy. Like he's got like the most fake smile ever. I'm like, who told you this was a good idea? Like I'm guessing there's people that are doing it for him. It's not him doing it, but I mean it's him talking, but
I mean, I think there are certain.
It's so creepy.
No, there are certain people that are like that are like, I don't know how to elicit motion. Tell me how. And then it's like, just show your teeth. And it's like they do this really uncomfortable because it's not real,
Yeah.
Like the most emotion I've seen from Tom Brady is like holding the Lombardi Trophy after whatever the 8 times he's won it, 6, whatever it is.
I don't know.
Is he going to retire after this year?
I think so. People are saying Drew Brees is going to retire. I think Tom Brady only signed a 1-year contract with Tampa Bay, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know Drew Brees already has a contract with like CBS or something or NBC for like announcing.
I thought you said CVS.
I did.
Like he's going to go.
The pharmacy. He's going to be pushing some Pedialyte and performance enhancing protein.
Nice. Good for him.
Good for him.
So I got one more thing written down here.
Oh no. I'm listening.
I wrote down a bunch of numbers, but I think there's only
random numbers like
Yeah.
6, 3, 4, 92.
No, they're numbers with a theme. I think there's only one way to bring this up, and it's to ask you a very simple question.
Yep.
Do you believe in aliens? Deep breath.
Sorry. Can I ask clarifying?
Sure.
Because this is what I think every person will usually answer like this. Ready?
Yeah.
I'm everybody else. Hold on. Is the question, do I believe in aliens, or is it, do I believe in a life outside planet Earth?
I think that's the same thing, right?
Oh, well then, yes. If that's the same thing, yes.
Okay. I agree.
Okay.
You know why?
A random string of numbers.
Yes.
6, 2, 4.
So
like that's
we
random.
live in the Milky Way galaxy, right?
Isn't that a candy bar?
It is, but it's also a galaxy.
Okay.
In the Milky Way galaxy, I looked this up because I wanted to have actual statistics. There's estimated over 100 billion stars that are similar to our star, the sun, right?
What about
100
pop stars and like movie stars? Do they count?
That's probably factored into the 100 billion. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure.
So the Milky Way is a pretty standard sized galaxy, right? There are 125 billion galaxies in the entire universe, approximately. Obviously, they don't have an exact number.
Science.
So whatever 125 billion times 100 billion is, that huge, humongous number, 20 to 30% of the stars in the universe have planets orbiting the stars that are in what they call the habitable zone.
Habitual zone.
The habitable zone that could possibly support life, as we understand.
So how do they know that? Just because it orbits something?
It's like the distance that it's orbiting from the sun.
Okay. So it's based on like life on our Earth in the distance that we are from our sun and like
Exactly.
everything else. So it's like a relativity thing.
Relative to the size of the sun or the size of the star too. Yeah.
What about the relative size of the daughter?
No. But yeah, it's like those numbers, like it's impossible for me to even understand what 100 billion means, let alone whatever 100 billion times 125 billion is. So like there has to be life somewhere else.
Now, so
and then there has to be intelligent life.
That's what I was going to say. So we agreed on, yes, there's got to be life out there. But like a little molecule in the middle of nowhere, whatever quadrillion light years away.
But if we started as a single cell organism,
but did we?
And evolved? Well, I don't know.
I don't know either. All right, well,
I think so. I think that's the whole thing.
What I'm saying, like you said, intelligent life is the distinction, I think. So are there...
But those numbers are so huge, there has to be intelligent life in there.
Well, what's intelligent? Like
being
able to be like 1.27 versus 1.72 divisible by 9.
No, I think
that's my variance.
I think even if you set the bar as intelligent as us, there has to be people out there. But I think maybe like this normal scientists would say like as long as you can like have language or something. I don't know. But yeah, those numbers are insane.
Yeah, it's
so here's the other thing. So there's a thing called the Fermi paradox, right? I didn't even write that down. If you're watching this, I didn't look at my
What
paper.
is it?
Fermi paradox. Basically,
Isn't
it's
that
like
the person in Black Eyed Peas?
the Fergie paradox. No, basically it's like if there is intelligent life out there, how have we not come in contact with them? That's the Fermi paradox.
Well, is it a paradox? Or, I mean, like you just said, billions and billions and billions of all that stuff. It's like, statistically speaking,
But yeah,
you're looking for a needle in a very large haystack, right?
Yeah.
And to have two needles come across each other in that big haystack.
Well, if the universe is that big and there's intelligent life that is like vastly more intelligent than us and that has the ability to see all the way to us or to travel above the speed of light, like they probably would have been here, right? So that's what the Fermi paradox is saying.
Is that like a rapper? Who's Fermi?
I think it's just a scientist, probably, or a philosopher. But yeah, that like I'm so obsessed with this kind of stuff. It's just like kind of blows my mind.
Obsession. So you must like Interstellar, the movie.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, it's not in my top 10 though.
Actually, I think it is in my top 10.
Haha.
I've only seen it once, and actually I have it. It's over there. But I haven't rewatched it since I saw it in theaters, I don't think. But yeah, it's pretty sweet. Space. I love space. Space is cool. Nice.
Hell yeah, brother. I was going to ask... Oh, I don't know how much longer you want to go with this.
I don't even really know how long we've been going. It's probably been at least an hour. I looked down at the time earlier. It said 6:33, and now it's 7:20. So.
Oh, well. I got one big question for you.
Shoot.
And then actually I got to go back into LinkedIn and I got to end with something positive and
okay.
And thought provoking. But so here's is it fruit for thought? Is that what the saying is?
Food for thought?
Food for thought.
Didn't we go through this last time?
Food for thought or fruit for thought?
Food.
It's not fruit. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Okay.
Oh, you said the early sparrow or something like that last time.
No, I was gonna say, do you think? And I want you to take like 5-10 seconds before you answer. Do you think there are more?
2.
I didn't ask yet. Do you think there are more good people in this world or bad people?
Oh, I love this question. I've thought about this a lot. Do you want me to still wait 5 seconds before I answer?
Whatever your little fart desires.
I think absolutely there are more good people.
Okay.
You think about
do you have a reason or no?
Think about everyone that you know.
Okay.
Not even everyone that you like. Everyone that you know.
Yep.
Almost all of those people are good people, right?
What makes a person good?
I think like they just have a straight moral compass. You know? Like they're not out there to hurt anybody or to abuse anybody. Yeah. Actually, okay. I gotta go get my journal because I have a quote I want to read.
Okay.
Stall for like.
Wait, can
seconds.
I play? I'll play something, and I'll play that whole clip for everyone for the Hunt for Red October. It's 1 minute, and 44 seconds.
Okay, I'll wait to leave before you.
Way to go, Dallas! I should find like. Oh yeah, sorry. I'll just play it. Go to your journal.
Where's he now, Jonesy? Close, sir.
They're on the Russian sub right now.
900 meters, directly ahead.
Fire torpedoes!
Max bearings on fire.
They're too close.
We are too close, Captain!
Don't argue with me. Launch the weapon.
Torpedoes are armed in the tubes, Captain. He can't.
Shoot now!
Torpedo in the water!
Another torpedo, Captain. It went active the moment it was launched. It's quiet us and his homie.
Left full rudder. He's off in your bow planes.
Yes, sir. I think he's got us.
Oh, so exhilarating. Way to go, Dallas!
Way to go, Dallas!
That's a torpedo.
Torpedo is an acquisition. Range 500 yards in closing. You've done it, Mr. Thomas.
Breach, breach!
I hope to Christ this works. All right, Chief.
On my mark.
On the roof.
Countermeasure station. On my mark. 5,
4,
4,
2, 1.
1. Release countermeasures. Emergency blow. Full rise. Fairwater plane.
So they're rising right now. They're going to the top, deploying the measures there. This is so good. Sorry.
Come on, Big D.
Big D, USS Dallas. Oh, torpedo is going through it, but it didn't go. Oh. So there's a Russian ship, and they're looking at the sub breach the water. Captain scared them out of the water. Uh-oh, the torpedo didn't blow.
The torpedo's still active. It's searching for another target now.
Oh, and it finds the other Russian sub and it blows them up. That's fun. Okay.
All right. So, this last week, Donald Trump, what? Oh yeah. Go ahead. Donald Trump pardoned a whole bunch of people, and
Okay.
I was really hoping he was going to pardon Edward Snowden.
Oh, he didn't.
Because as like an engineer and a general human being that wants the best for other people, I think he was like a very important, and like in the history of America, I think looking back on it, he will go down as one of the I don't know. I don't want to say one of the best people, but he's very admirable for sure. And I wrote down a quote of his that it was from a podcast interview he did. And so it's just like, this was off the top of his head. And he, so it's worded very weirdly, but I wrote down the entire thing because I think it's such an incredible view of humanity and of a person that basically sacrificed his entire well-being for what he thought was the good of humanity. He said, "We're all inherently flawed. In a lot of ways, you're not as good as you want yourself to be. But I know I've become a better person with time. You've become a better person with time. I think we all have and we all can. Those of us that have not could if they chose to, or if they have guidance, or if they had love or friendship or someone who cared and directed them and helped them become better. That's the story of human history, because we're all the monkey and then we found a stick. We could use it to beat somebody, or we could use it to build a bridge. If you look around at the world today, there's a hell of a lot of bridges." I think it's just it's such an incredible quote just for someone that he had this information about how the U.S. government was purposely spying on citizens, and he could have sat on this. He had a cushy job working for the NSA.
Hot wife. Girl.
He has a hot wife / well, they were dating at the time, but they're married now. And he didn't tell her that he was going to release this information, and he did it the right way. I think he went through journalists. They redacted any potentially harmful information. It's not like he spit it out on WikiLeaks, which, I go back and forth whether I think that that's a good thing or not, but he did this for what he thought was the good of everybody, but at great sacrifice to himself. And I think it's just incredible.
Yeah. You read that to me a while back too.
Yeah.
Or at least you gave it to me to read. I think you read it to me though, because I can't read sometimes, but it is very, I'm surprised he didn't pardon him.
I was really I really got my hopes up that he was going to. There's a lot of talk of that happening. But he didn't, and it was really disappointing.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Was that your continue? Sorry.
That was my quote.
I cut you off. Oh, okay.
No, you're good.
Then I'll match you. I'll call you on a little bluff.
Okay.
Not bluff. But it's a combination of two things. Of course, as you know, I'm a LinkedIn fanatic. And I like things that I think are thought-provoking and meaningful, at least to me. I don't really care if other people can see it, interpret things as they want. What the heck? Is this my profile? I don't even know how this thing works. I'm looking for my posts. This is embarrassing. Technical difficulties.
Edward Snowden.
Oh, your Wi-Fi is really, really bad right now.
Edward Snowden would have found it by now.
Okay.
You said okay, but you're still scrolling. I don't
Well,
think you found it
I
yet.
found the one piece, but I'm looking for the other piece. It's actually on my telephone, but well, I'll damn it. Dang it, I really should find the other one, but wait, hold on.
Do you want to just explain it?
It's hard. I don't want to be a fool because it's so powerful. Hold on, I'll find it real quick. One moment.
Okay.
Kill time, Tim.
I guess if you just listen to me saying that all about Edward Snowden and you don't really know who he is,
Googleize it.
Googleize him, or even better, he just wrote an autobiography last year, and it's incredible. It's like kind of basically the story of how he came to become an engineer, like from his childhood, how his parents influenced him to do the right thing in his mind. And basically he talks a lot about kind of not just really the information that he released, but how he like got that information and how he battled in his own head about how, like, whether or not he should release this or how he should do it, how it would affect him in the future and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I would like to read that book that you told me to read about Edward Snowden, because, of course, all I heard at the time when it was all big news was from the media, and, there's a lot more layers to that than what they present. So I think that's definitely something I need to educate myself on and at least understand. I mean,
yeah, or if
instead of taking it for face value and telling everyone or having believe what everyone is telling me, I don't think. I mean, you're just as ignorant as the source you're coming from. If that is, I don't know.
Yeah,
seek the truth.
For sure. And if you're listening to it, you're like, I don't want to read some random engineer dork's autobiography. He's done tons of podcasts. Not his own podcast, as far as I know, but he's a guest. Yeah, plenty of them.
All right. Well, so I have a 2-part. I don't want to say zinger because that's the wrong term, but I think it means a lot to me, and I think it all depends on the lens that you put on when you listen to this. Not the podcast, but what I'm about to say. Like, it really try to put yourself in all sorts of different shoes, everyone's shoes, empathic, understand how everyone else is viewing everything. That's how I think. This is how I interpreted that, and I think it's so fantastic. So like we had Martin Luther King Day on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And so like there's this post that I liked. I think I may have shared it on LinkedIn, but it's so good. It's there are 6 things that Martin Luther King had principles that are really good, that really stand out, especially in this day and age, in this unique time. And so I'll just go one by one, and I'll let them sink in, and then I'll tell you this part 2 of that, but this is part 1. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
Love it.
2. We must either learn to live together as brothers and sisters, or we are going to perish together as fools. 3. An individual has not started living fully until they can rise above the narrow confines of individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of humanity. 4. Every person must decide at some point whether they will walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness. 5. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. 6. This is no time for apathy or complacency. This is a time for vigorous and positive action. So, for me, that was very reflecting on that and putting myself in different people's shoes, that really kind of it spoke to me in a big way. And then part 2 is what I actually shared, because I thought it was I think a day after I read that, and it just it brought it all together, hit home, and brought it all together. And it's so good because it's so simple and so short. It's from this another fella on LinkedIn, his post. May the MLK quote you post today align with the words and actions you choose over the next 364 days.
Nice.
And I thought, oh my gosh, so beautiful. Because
yeah.
And the reason I think it's so beautiful is because social media is all about looking good and presenting this person who you really probably aren't. And that's what, that's why I've kind of taken a step back from Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff, because I was posting stuff that I was like, I don't really care about this. Like, who do I care that likes this stuff? But that really spoke to me, where it's like, yeah, if you're going to post all this MLK great things, listen to what he actually preached and what he did and what he stood for, and really reflect on it and think about it. Yeah. Are your actions, and are you just saying that because it's convenient and it sounds good, or do you actually believe it? And that's what I took a lot out of that. And I said, if I'm going to post anything or do anything like that, I'm going to own up to it and live up to it.
Right.
And I think that tells you the caliber of the person or people.
For sure.
And that's why I thought that post was so great. But yep.
I think that's a great way to end.
All right. Yeah. Well, very good.
Thank you for listening to this.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Or watching.
We've got already 800,000 subscribers. Yep. We can't go through the Gmail enough. The DMs, Tim's managing as much as he can. I'm doing as much as I can. I'm trying to answer all I can, but please keep sending your recommendations, what you want us to talk about. Yeah. And then, I know sometime at the tail end of March, I think we're going to have our first guest, but we don't know who that is yet, or they don't know who it is.
So yeah, Instagram and Twitter at CouchBeersPod, or hit us up via email if you're old school, couchbeerspodcast@gmail.com.
And subscribe on YouTube and share with all your friends and family.
See ya.
Peace.